We all knew the 2025 NBA draft class was gonna be good, but this has been one of the best starts to a season we've ever seen from a draft class. It's not just the top picks, it's players throughout the entire draft. Second-round selections and even late second-rounders are contributing to winning teams. This has been an unbelievable start for this class. Of course, we have to start at the top with Cooper Flagg. It's been a strange start to the year for Dallas overall, but Flagg has looked like he belongs in every single game. He had a rough debut, obviously national TV, a little bit of nerves, but ever since then, all of the in-between stuff that people were excited about Cooper Flagg, that made him such a well-rounded prospect, it's all been there. He's been able to playmaker, he's rebounding, he's guarding, he's getting out in transition. And you're seeing some of the flashes of on-ball creation, of taking dribble handoffs and getting to a one-dribble pull-up, even some pull-up threes. And that's what you want to see. You want to see all of the stuff that he was always supposed to be as a prospect. High energy, competitive, just plays a winning brand of basketball. Then you want to see him develop those other level skills that are going to take him to being a potential superstar. And you also have to keep in mind every single time you watch Cooper Flagg play. One, he's not even 19 years old yet. He's the youngest guy in the league. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do after reclassifying in high school, getting to college a year early, and thus getting to the NBA a year early. It's completely unprecedented, with the exception of a couple of guys throughout history, to have high statistical output at the age that Cooper Flagg is. There are other guys. Trey Murphy talked about this the other day. There are other guys that are really good in the league right now. Thinking back on when they were 18, almost 19 years old. Thinking about trying to contribute in an NBA game and then seeing what Cooper Flagg has been able to do makes absolutely no sense. The other thing you have to keep in mind anytime you're watching Cooper Flagg play is this is a very weird situation from a roster perspective. As Jason Kidd said the other day, they are shorthanded at the point guard position. He's barely playing D'Angelo Russell at all. Is barely playing any guards at all, and it's Flagg and a bunch of big guys, which helps obviously with defense and with rebounding. But for someone like Cooper Flagg that already needs some development in terms of being an on-ball playmaker, in terms of creation, in terms of working within space, having limited space because there's two bigs and a bunch of guys out there that aren't going to playmaker around him, that makes it that much more difficult. And to still see him contribute in a meaningful way is unbelievably positive for Mavs fans. There's still some turnover issues. There's still going to be a lot of stuff he's going to have to deal with and work throughout the year. But almost all of those things come from either the situation in Dallas or how young he is. And I can't wait to see Cooper Flagg continue to grow and develop. He's been absolutely worth the #1 pick through a couple of games. Now, let's talk about Dylan Harper. The Spurs in general have been very good to start the year, and I think Harper's actually been a little bit overshadowed because obviously Victor Wembanyama has been incredible. Harper has been everything you would want him to be, and then some. We talked about how Cooper Flagg's game is translating the way you would want, and Dylan Harper looks like exactly the kind of prospect he was supposed to be. He's strong, he's able to get to the rim, he uses his shoulders to create space, can work a little bit in the mid-range, and his playmaking is continuing to grow and develop in San Antonio. Between him and Stephon Castle and a couple of other guys, people are already having conversations about whether they really needed De'Aaron Fox if they knew they were going to be getting Dylan Harper. Harper has had a good situation in San Antonio because if there was a knock on his game, it was that he's a high-volume guy who really wants to get a lot of shots. Seeing how that works within a Spurs team that wants to be really good this year could have potentially limited his opportunities overall. But the coaching staff has integrated him well. It allows him to scale down his game, work on his game, develop it in a smaller sample, and in the long term, that will help him better understand how to play winning basketball in San Antonio, which is not something he experienced a ton at Rutgers last year. I love the fact that Dylan Harper is in this situation alongside Wembanyama. Those are the foundations in San Antonio. I can't wait to see him continue to grow and develop throughout his rookie season. Now, let's talk about the surprise of the class, VJ Edgecomb. There were a lot of conversations at the time of the draft about who Philadelphia was going to take third overall. A big consensus was that Ace Bailey was probably the third best player in the class, and thus a player that would make a lot of sense for Philly to take. They ended up going with VJ Edgecomb, partially because Ace Bailey wanted a certain situation, and also because they liked Edgecomb as a prospect, especially as a connecting piece. Not necessarily someone to be profiled as a super duper star. Edgecomb shows up and looks unbelievable. He's getting to the rim. He's defending. He's a crazy good athlete. All of these things we knew about him as a prospect are showing up. He's hitting jump shots, spot-up threes, pull-up jumpers. Relative to expectations, he has been the most impressive rookie to begin this season across the entire league, which is an unbelievable development for a Sixers team that needed to nail this pick. With Joel Embiid struggling health-wise and Paul George not playing, the team is relying heavily on VJ Edgecomb, Tyrese Maxey, and that has been a lifeline for the franchise to start the season. Edgecomb is a starter, going to play a ton all year, and if he continues to grow other parts of his game, the sky is the limit. Overshadowed a little by Ace Bailey, he's an unbelievable athlete with an extremely high ceiling. Questions about shot making and shot creation? He has answered them. The most exciting guy, apart from maybe Cooper Flagg, in the entire class is here, showing how strong this draft class is. Charlotte's 4th overall pick, Con Newpol, has also been really good. The upside and ceiling of the potential are not as high for some of the other guys, even Ace Bailey picked after him. But Con Newpol in Charlotte is shooting the ball well, attacking closeouts, and being solid as a connecting piece for a team built around LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. Charlotte's rookies overall are the winners of the draft class right now. A 2nd-round pick who contributes in winning ways with rim protection and three-point shooting. This changes everything for Charlotte moving forward. Ace Bailey at 5 hasn't played well so far. He was sick in his first game and not very good in the second. But the preseason showed his potential. Utah has been more competent than expected. Over the season, Ace Bailey will likely show flashes and develop further. Trey Johnson in Washington is showing exactly what you want. He may not get to the rim often, but his jump shooting is elite. He's going to be one of the elite shooters in the league for a long time, and that's a huge boost for Washington. These top 6 picks really establish a great foundation for the class moving forward. With the exception of Ace Bailey being sick, they've all shown what they can do in the NBA, which is exciting for teams needing an infusion of talent. Jeremiah Fears in New Orleans is a number 7 pick. He might be smaller and skinnier, but offensively, he looks perfect. A playmaking guard who will get to his spots. New Orleans traded for him, hoping for immediate returns and continued growth from other young players, which has been very positive. Cedric Howard from Memphis, picked 11, has been incredible. He was supposed to be at Duke, but now he's tearing it up for Memphis. An athletic wing who can finish, defend, and contribute immediately. A huge boost for a Memphis team dealing with injuries and transitions. Other notable rookies include Atlanta's 23rd pick, Charlotte's 33rd and 34th picks, and Golden State's Will Richard at 56. All are showing flashes, contributing in depth, and demonstrating the overall strength of this draft class. The depth and talent at the top, with Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper leading, makes this an unbelievably exciting class. Normally, you wait to see flashes over the season, but this class showed up immediately as one of the best we've seen in recent memory. I can't wait to continue watching these guys for the rest of the year.